Chef Cheramie with the John Folse Culinary Institute, and today we're going to talk about roux and its importance in cooking in South Louisiana. The old story goes, you know, whenever you're cooking anything in South Louisiana, what's the first thing you do? First you make a roux. Well, that's a lot of truth in that, and maybe not so much in any way, in a lot of other ways. I wanted to show you the 4 different kinds of roux here. If you look at it, 4 different distinct colors. We have a white roux. White roux is used not so much in Cajun or country or Louisiana cooking, but it's used to make bechamel sauce in the classical French sense. Blonde roux. A blonde roux just has a little color on it. It's not cooked very much. And this is used to make velouté classically. Velouté being used to make soups in the French tradition. Then we come to the 2 roux that we use the most in South Louisiana, the light brown roux and the dark brown roux. Now, what are the utilizations? It depends on the cook. You know, there are some people who say that the light brown roux is good for dishes that incorporate dark types of protein like duck, where the dark brown is good for light proteins like chicken. I'm one of those cooks that think opposite. I think the lighter brown for lighter proteins and the darker brown for darker proteins. The way we do it, well, we have a pan right here and it's been on heat for quite a while. We're going to add the oil to it and we're going to put it up at high temp. Now, when you're making a roux at home, I had to do it a certain way to show these 4 stages. When I do it at home, I want this to be heating for quite a while, and almost to the point where smoke might be coming off the top of it. Then I know I won't have to stay there, you know, stirring all day long, right? So, but this looks like it's getting pretty hot quickly. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and add that to it. The amount of oil to flour, it kind of depends on what you're doing. A good standard roux would be to use equal parts by volume, all right? In other words, a cup of flour, a cup of oil to a cup of flour. Some people do it by weight. A cup of oil, liquid measurements or liquid fluids ounces is 8 ounces. To use 8 ounces of flour would almost be a cup and a half, maybe a cup and 3/4. That makes a real pasty roux. For a general roux making, I like to make the equal parts by volume, yeah? And you have to know, for safety reasons, that you have to take your time while making a roux. Just keep on stirring very, very slowly, making sure to hit all the parts of the bottom of the pan at some point or another. You don't want it to burn. You can never leave a roux. Never leave it on the fire and walk away. You have to stick with it the whole time until it's done. Now, in a lot of Cajun Creole cooking, once the roux has reached the color, the desired color, then what we call Trinity would be added to the roux. What's Trinity? Well, very big Catholic community. Trinity basically is onion, celery, and bell peppers, right? Yeah. So we would add that to the roux. Now, there are some cooks, and I happen to be one of them, that believe that you should add the onions first and let it cook for a while. When you get to that dark brown roux, that's about maybe 420 degrees. When you add just the onions to that, the onions will caramelize and bring a nice sweetness and bring a little complexity to the dish, rather than throwing all of the Trinity at one time, where the water content of the other 2 vegetables wouldn't allow that. Yeah. So, and basically, the cooking of the roux is just cooking it until the desired brownness, okay? And the desired brownness really depends on what you're cooking. Once this gets to a certain temp, it's wise to be very careful with it and to respect it. We call it Cajun napalm. It'll take the skin right off your, it'll take your skin right off. So you have to treat it with some respect, and don't stir it real vigorously, or it'll splash on your skin and then you'll have a bad burn. So I could go on until the desired amount of color that we want to reach, but suffice it to say, in South Louisiana, you really can't cook without making roux. Hope you learned something today. Thank you, and we'll see you soon.